Clark, you got Dame, right? Now you venture off into this young Brooklyn MC,
Right.
right? That was rapping a little fast at the time before he slowed it down, right? The great Sean Carter,
Talk.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, walk me through it. How did you meet Jay?
Man. Well, obviously, my first time seeing Jay is in the infamous Hawaiian Sophie video. First time I was seeing Jay-Z, I was like, oh, kick a rap. Didn't think nothing about it after that. Never thought I was going to ever meet him in my life or shit like that.
Right.
But anyhow, Jay was working with Fresh Gordon. I don't know if you remember him. Look that name up. Fresh Gordon was a rapper and producer, real big, well, semi-big in the 80s. But he was producing Jay-Z. And Fresh was trying to get Jay-Z signed, so, you know, he introduced Jay-Z to Clark. And something happened with Fresh. I think he went to jail. Something happened where he wasn't around anymore. So now it's just Clark and Jay. So Clark is, you know, doing a production for Jay, trying to, you know, get Jay a situation. So Clark wanted to introduce Jay to Dame because he knew, you know, Dame was managing artists and, you know, it'd be a good look, whatever. So that's how I met Jay personally, because Clark was trying to get Dame to manage him. And I met him at Fresh Gordon's house where I heard him rap. And he was with Source Money. And he was with Jaz-O. And I heard all them niggas rap. And I'm like, these niggas are the best rappers I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, Source was... And back then, ironically, Source was iller than Jay because Source was different. Because Source, you know, Jay was still... But it was dope. And the timing and the punchlines and the way the setups was crazy. Like, you wasn't expecting none of that shit, how they was dropping them lines. But Source was more... You know what I'm saying?
Slick talky, setting up his metaphors.
That nigga said some shit. He said, yo, you swear niggas was Chinese the way they duck sauce. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga? Well, he said, yo, when he said another line, he said, yo, niggas looking down like we dropped chain. The way they set they shit up was incredible. Like, incredible. You wouldn't see that shit coming from 20 lines back. Them niggas was crazy. But anyhow, that being said, that was the time I knew. I said, you know what? If I was ever gonna be a rapper, I would need to be as good as them, and I'm not as good as them. So let me really focus on producing, because I know I can make that nigga some dope shit. You know what I'm saying? If I just get into my thing, and that's what I did. Once I met Jay, you know, we did Can I Get Open, obviously, and when Original Flavor went on the road, you know, we brought Jay with us to, you know, help build his buzz, and you know, obviously he was doing his thing on the shows, outshining, rocking. You know, he's Jay-Z. And as soon as we got off the road, man, we just started going in. Clark had already started the process with most of the records. And I came in, you know, did the Dead Prezes, did the politics, the feeling it, shit like that. And, you know, we just called it Good Zone. But the funny thing is we had a whole album before we even got to those records. And I lost all them shits.
Get the fuck out of here.
Because we did
With
all
different rhymes and
Yes,
all
he
that?
did.
whole different songs. And we did all them shits on ADAT. Back then we was using ADAT. So, you know, we was kind of warming up, you know, creating, trying to catch the chemistry, trying to see where was going
So it was
before
a
we got to
reasonable
it.
doubt before Reasonable Doubt is what you're saying?
Man, we had...
And Big L Records, right?
Yeah, and Big L. We had fucking Report to the Bridge for Blow Up, The Hurt. We had all these other songs.
Report to the Bridge for Blow Up.
Report to the Bridge for Blow Up, The Hurt, like 3 or 4 other songs before Reasonable Doubt. But, you know, because I was catching the zone, was getting a rhythm. Then once we got the rhythm, when we did like the Feeling It and the Dead Prez and the politics, that was the rhythm. That's when we knew what.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Report to the Bridge for Blow Up. All those other songs, was that fast rapping Jay, or was that getting into his
that
own
was
Jay?
get money Jay.
And we would never hear those records.
And that nigga was saying some craziness.
Yo,
That's
Ski,
fucking crazy.
Ski,
Yeah.
You're breaking my heart right now, man.
Yo,
That's
if I would have known
crazy.
what I knew then, obviously I would have kept the ADATs, but, you know, technology, Pro Tools came. I'm like, I don't need these shits. This is a waste of time. Threw them out. Just threw them out the crib, my nigga. Wasn't thinking about the future. Wasn't even foreseeing, like, collectibles or just could
Shit
be
made
worth
my
it.
stomach hurt, bro.
Yo!
Smoke.
That's like a nigga having $3 million in cryptocurrency
Yeah.
and they don't remember the password to
Yo,
Coinbase.
my nigga. I mean,
Do you think about that every night?
not every night, but I do think about that sometimes. I'm like, damn, my mind wasn't even mature enough to even think right here, like right now. I wasn't on no
heart
Marty
beating
Marty
wild
McFly
fast
shit.
right
I was
now,
just.
bro.
I got mad questions for that, but I'm gonna save that because I could just do an
but,
hour
yo,
questioning
Big L
just
records
for that.
and Jay-Z records.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. All right, so hold on. Legend has it,
Legends.
you might be one of the few producers that was actually in a session with Hov and Biggie. Is that true?
I wasn't there when they did the. You mean the Brooklyn Finest?
No, I'm just saying. Period.
Oh yeah.
Right, because it's a photo that's floating around with you, Hov and Big.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know where that photo derived from, right? But was that the club? Like where was y'all
That
all
was
at?
D&D Studios.
D&D Studios,
Right.
D&D Studios. So was you like a fly on the wall for some of those sessions with like the Brooklyn Finest or like I Love the Dough? Like any of those songs? Was you around for any of those?
Man, I was there, man, for a lot of the Biggie songs. Definitely, I definitely remember standing by the door when Primo was making 10 Crack Commandments. I was like right by the door, like, what is this nigga doing? Yo, I'm like, yo, why is he killing this shit like this? Primo was
I
crazy.
heard that was the last song made on the album.
Man, I was right there by
That's
the door.
That
Yeah.
was the last song made on
But
the
then,
album.
that's how D&D was back then. I mean, I was making the beat. When I was making Politics, Primo came in. He was like, oh, yeah, that's going to be crazy. Yeah, that's going to be crazy. We was back and forth going into each other's sessions, listening to shit.
Politics is so crazy.
Yeah.
Just like a part of me working with you, fast forward all those years later, like it was always me chasing that ghost of the politics, of the dead presidents.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I want one of those, and you gave them to me, like willingly. Like, nah, you should have that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you was already into the soul pocket. You know what I mean? Because that's where you came from, right? So helping carve that sound at the time, did you do that knowingly or was that just you blindly going into that just from you having that passion for
that was just passion and just inspiration from listening to soul music and listening to my the guys who taught me how to produce. Like I would go into their sessions and just catch energy and catch vibes from them. Listen to a lot of Pete Rock, just inspiration from different things. But I, just put my little
spin
twist on it,
Right, and shit, it was perfect. Now, out of those 3 records y'all did on Reasonable Doubt, which one was the first one that y'all did that set that tone? Out of those 3,
Good one, Smoke.
It was Dead Prez. Yeah, Dead Prez set the tone, set everything up, and then I came with
Crazy.
Feeling It. Feeling It was actually my song. Because I was working on a solo album. I mean, everybody knows the story.
Yeah.
I was working on a solo album, and I had my man Geechee Suede on it with me, my homegirl Mecca. She sung the hook. And I was excited about that. I thought that was going to, get me up out the hood and shit. You know what I'm saying? I went to Dame crib. We was living at 1199. We was living there. And I went to Dame crib.
East Side.
Yep,
East Side.
Harlem.
And I said, yo, listen to my record, man. This is it. And Jay was there. And I played it. And, they liked it. But Jay was like, yo, I need that record. I need that record. We working on this, and I need that record. I want the hook, and I want to use your flow. And he did everything. He took the hook, and he used the flow.
That's fire.
Yeah. That shit was dope.
Fire.
And I wasn't mad after I heard it. I'm like,
You're a real one.
He killed that shit.
Yeah.
I see Hov just sent you one of those commemorative Rockefeller joints
Pendants.
for.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
just
so
nice.
so that's hard. Just hearing this story, fast forward to present day,
Right.
That's being celebrated like that. Did you know or did you feel like that album was going to be one of the greatest albums of all time?
You never
when y'all was working
know.
on it?
You'll never know. You never know. That shit just happens. I mean, I remember Jay pulling me to the side and was like, I just made you famous, right, nigga? I'm like, get out of here. And that was back,
He was
back
right,
in the
that's
90s.
crazy.
Like, get out of here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even thinking about it. But and now when you look back, you're like, damn, that's just wow. You know what I'm saying? This shit fucking really withstood the test of fucking time. This music is still being played, still sound dope. The niggas lyrics still sound crazy. But back then when you was making it, you was just in the moment of creating. You're not thinking that one day this is gonna be, some classic legendary shit. You just like, I love hip hop, and let's, we done made that, but let's make some more shit. I'm on to the fucking streets is watching and who you with. You know what I'm saying? Let's make some more shit. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking about Reasonable Doubt no more. And the years later, it just becomes what it becomes. You know what I mean? Which is dope.
That's ill.